Welcome, everyone. We have another big round of applause for our Clarkston Wolves. Big round of applause. Gentlemen, if you'll remove your caps, we're going to start out with a national anthem. We have the American Legion Color Guard over here to my left. And we have our own Clarkston High School Madrigals who will lead us.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free, and the home of the brave.
Can you do us a favor and step back from the sidewalk here? Here's our band with the fight song. Are you guys gonna dance? So when they come back. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you Mickey York from Fox Sports Detroit, who's a Clarkston resident, has his children here in the community. He's going to be our MC for this afternoon. So let's welcome Mickey York.
Thank you very much. What a wonderful turnout. Thank you for being here. Clarkston is the city of champions again. As Dr. Rock mentioned, I'm going to use words like we, us, and our today because I'm throwing out the unbiased media thing. I am one of you. I live in Clarkston. My kids are Wolves, and we're so very proud. And I speak on behalf of all of us, of Coach Fife and the boys and what you guys accomplished. Congratulations, all of you. Make no mistake, today is about you, and we celebrate you here today. And what impressed me most about Coach Fife and this team is that they are a shining example of perseverance. In today's day and age, we all want instant gratification. I'm not just talking about the kids. Parents, we're like this too, right? We want it now. This was not an overnight success. This has been many years in the making, as you know. There's been a lot of adversity along the way, a lot of tough losses. But they kept getting up, and they kept answering the bell, and they kept fighting for what their goal was. Sometimes it takes 10 years, 20 years. Coach, sometimes it takes 50 years. But eventually, you reach that finish line, you reach that goal. And when you get there, that reward is oh so sweet. And today, Coach Fife, boys, these are the spoils of victory. We are here to share our love and pour it out to you and tell you how much we appreciate you, congratulate you. I know a lot of you were there to cheer them on in person, but I was here in Clarkston at the time at my niece's birthday party. We were at Mr. B's, and every TV in the place had your game on. Everybody was cheering, hooting and hollering. People were yelling, "Go Wolves," at least our table was. So we were there cheering for you as well. I hope you could hear us all the way at the Breslin Center. You'll definitely hear us today because we're all here to celebrate you and your great accomplishment. I know you're not here to hear me babble on all afternoon, so let's bring up a guy who has been here, a part of this community for so long, who's coached your boys, who's coached some of your parents, and some of their grandkids. He's been here a long time, and he's finally a state champion. It's well-earned, well-deserved. Coach Dan Fife.
I have to be careful. I'll get too emotional with this, but I want to thank all of you for your support. To look up in the bleachers on the day of the game and see 90% of Clarkston there was such a thrill and excitement for us and our players. We finally won one to bring it home to this town. This town has been a part of my life, and it's such a great place to raise kids, play sports, and do our classwork here. It's just a great town, a great community. Help. We couldn't do it without all of you guys and your support. But thank you for coming out today and honoring us. It's been a dream come true. My old high school coach is here, Mr. Motti. None of it would have never started with me without him. And Mr. Vara, I don't know if he's here, but I know so many faces. And when I first went to Michigan to play ball up there, my roommate, who's in the NBA Hall of Fame right now, told me that he asked me where Clarkston was. He thought it was in the UP. So right now, I think they all know where we're at. So again, thank you. Really, I'm so happy that we could give Clarkston another championship. But thank you again for all your support and all you kids, you young kids that play ball that want to grow up to be like these kids, because they're great examples for all our students. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dan. So what we're going to do now is we have our color guard who's going to lead us in the fire trucks and the police, and we're going to ask you guys to take a walk around the block. We have some citizens who would love to shake your hands. And then we're going to come back here. We have Brooks Patterson and Jim Tedder and some other dignitaries who are going to recognize you again. So if you guys could just turn around and go follow the band and head that way. Thank you all. Please come back for the closing ceremonies.
Hey guys, before you go down, can I get a picture of the three of you? I'll catch up with you soon. I got you live on Facebook just now. Okay guys. That way you can play. Thank you.
an adventurer like yourself. Maybe have a Malamute or something.
We're good. So far, so good.
Excuse you. I'm just all up in everyone's business. I know.
I don't know who's starting. But I'm way up here. Is it on?
Amy, is it turned up as loud as it will go?
It's as high as it'll go.
All right, we'll just have to tell people to speak loud because you couldn't hear them in the back.
I'm trying to stay out of the way.
Hey Jimmy, how you doing, man? You're doing good. Kidding, I'm retired. Yeah, you were still there. I had these kids when I was up. Hold it up, Gary! He's got the mic.
So we have.
Excuse me. He's right there. Hi, guys. You bring him up. He was around.
Think so? Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for being part of the parade and the celebration once again today. There are several guests of honor here today that have joined us to celebrate the Wolves' accomplishment, Coach Fife's accomplishment. We'd like to introduce them and have them come up here and say a few words as well. So I'd like to begin by welcoming back Dr. Rock on behalf of the Clarkston School Administrators.
Thank you. All right. I got in trouble last time you guys said no school, and I said yes. So, where's Mr. Cozen? He's coming. I'd like to welcome our athletic director, Mr. Jeff Cozen, who's doing a fantastic job. Can we give him a hand? Mr. Cozen has a few words to share.
First of all, thank you everyone for coming today. It's quite an honor, obviously, to be able to celebrate with Coach Dan Fife. Is he still on Holcomb? Has anybody seen Dan? He probably is. And the Division I boys state championship team. I tell you what, that doesn't get old. To hear the word state champs, that doesn't get old. Let me start by saying that I absolutely love what I'm doing in Clarkston. Somebody asked me the other day, what's the best part about what you do? And to be honest with you, it's watching our coaches and our kids excel at the highest level in the state of Michigan. And it was evident on Saturday, obviously, it was evident on Friday, watching them compete and watching them do what they do on a daily basis. They're there early, they stay late. You know, to strive in the greatness within all of their sports. And I'm just not talking about our basketball team. I know today's about basketball, but when I talk about being an athletic director, we're talking about all the sports in Clarkston. From the middle schools, you know, we've got our girls volleyball team going on today, but we're here to celebrate all sports. Case in point, these state champs, again, I love that team. Our boys varsity team, these teams and these coaches show firsthand what hard work, dedication, passion, perseverance earns for your program. A lot of what Mickey York said earlier today, I kind of read through those things. You know, it's amazing. You go into the school on a Sunday or a Saturday, and they're in there playing. They give up their weekends, they give up their vacations, they give up their family time to do what they do best, and that's play basketball. What you have to realize again is that it didn't happen overnight. It took long, 35 years of making this with Coach Fife, starting with his McGrath program. I see a lot of McGrath shirts around. I see a lot of Fife Camp shirts. It starts with our 7th and 8th grade programs, our freshmen, our junior high. 35 long years of getting to where we are today. It's fantastic. You know, we look at the former players, all contributed not only to the championship to where we're at today, but in everything that Coach Fife is and stands by. I will say it's been a very busy week at the school. Last week was ticket sales. I thought I was a ticket broker for a while, and I'm glad that part is over. But now it's all the ex-players, all the ADs, all the coaches, and they keep saying the same thing. I had 37 messages on my machine on Monday when I got back to work. Now my voicemail says, you've reached the desk of Jeff Cozen, but what I hear is, hey Dan, congratulations on that state championship. So I'm sure there's many people that wanted to wish Dan a great job on his championship, but I didn't get all their names because all I left was Billy or Bob or whoever he had friendships on throughout the years. But they all shared the same message over and over and over and over again. I'm so happy for Dan. I'm so happy for his program. It couldn't have happened to a better person. And that's truly, there he is. There he is. He had his own separate parade route. So, So earlier with this team, earlier in the week, I was with the team in my office, and we were designing state championship apparel, and more importantly, state championship rings. 5X. And there was one phrase they wanted on their shirts, and there was one phrase that they wanted on their ring, and that was family. And when you hear that word and you hear that, it means many things to many different people. But to us, it's a group of people united with a certain conviction of common affiliation. They support each other, they encourage each other, they're there for each other. Again, you're worried about the person next to you. You're not worried about a me or an I. It's more about what we can do to help us. Mickey hit it again when he said we're going to use the word we a lot. And to me, that's what family does. And this team behind me enables exactly what that is, that family concept. You know, as I walked through the gym today, I glanced up at the banners up top, and I said our cross country was there, and I saw our wrestling banners, our baseball and our girls and boys golf and our tennis. and our boys ski, and then most recently our 2 football banners. And I can tell you that I can proudly say that after 35 long years, I have the privilege of ordering a 2017 Division I Boys State Championship banner. Thank you and congratulations, coaches and players.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cozen. And I'd like to introduce Mr. Gary Call, Clarkston alumni, Clarkston basketball alumni. Welcome, Mr. Gary Call. Principal of Clarkston High School. He said he didn't have any prepared words, and then he pulls out a speech.
I've always got words. Very nice. Before I get into my prepared statement, I would just like to, when I look out on this crowd, this is awesome. I've spent my entire life in Clarkston, and I think Dan's mentioned before that a lot of people come back to Clarkston. And Dan talks about community, the team talks about family. Looking out here, this is what makes this community special. So could you guys give yourselves, while I catch my prepared statement, a round of applause? Thank you to the Clarkston community for everything you've done to support us throughout the years. Gentlemen, I'll turn to you for a second. On behalf of the school, I want to thank you guys. You, through your efforts, one, you've made my life a lot easier, because when our teams are winning at school, school's a really, really great place to be. But beside from that, when you look out at all the kids around here and they look at you and they see who they want to be when they grow up, you guys are a great representation of what we all stand for. So thank you very much. Congratulations. When I think of the accomplishments of all of our great programs within Clarkston Community Schools, both on and off the athletic field, I tend to personally view those through the lens of education. It's what I do. How do those coaches teach our students? What do they teach our students? How responsive are our students to the lessons? And how do they carry those lessons beyond the playing fields and the classrooms into their lives? I think last Saturday, many of us were there to witness how those lessons played out. Just like in our classrooms, Dan and his staff prepare their players to take lessons he imparts and put them into practice. In basketball, there's no bigger final exam than the state championship. And boys, you earned yourselves A pluses last Saturday. Those will not be reflected on your final transcripts. We'll see what we can do. I think we could tell by the joy on Dan's face as the clock ticked down how happy he was for his players, the community, and himself. I know that he's wanted this for a very, very long time, not for just himself, but for everybody. In reality, this milestone is a byproduct of the great teaching Dan has done for 35 years in Clarkston schools. And the true championship is the influence that he's had on generations of people. I know Dan doesn't get a lot of credit for being a teacher, but Dan is definitely one of the best teachers I've ever come in contact with. Thanks, Dan. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Call. And on behalf of the Clarkston Community Schools Board of Education, I'd like to congratulate these young men and Dan Fife. Can say as a young person growing up in Millington, which is up M15, I used to dream. I used to go to Indiana to see my aunts and uncles, and I would always buy Street and Smith magazine, and I would look through all the All-Americans and all the basketball players, and I would go to all the state championships, and I would just shop baskets in my driveway for many, many hours, and I dreamed of being a basketball player. And I played against, I don't know how much I played, probably not very much, but Dylan's dad, Shane Alderson, was down the road, a very good player in Lakeville, and I used to dream of being on that stage one day, and my dream never came true, but thanks to these young men, I got my name in a program to be and people, I've never been to a practice, I've never coached, but I get to be a state champion. I get to have my dream come true, and it really means a lot to me and to this whole community, and I'd like to thank you guys for helping old guys like me have their dreams come true and help us remember that dreams can come true when we work hard and we sacrifice. So, and one last thing. I've been the superintendent at Clarkston for 7 years, and I've been in a few different communities. I never knew what community was until I came to Clarkston. So thank you all very much for making this a special place, and thank you to all the parents of these players who have sacrificed, driving them all over the country to be who they are today. Thank you very much. I'll turn it back over to Mickey York.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for your kind words. And I just noticed for winning the state championship, they got Dan a convertible Viper. That is awesome. Who chipped in for that? All right, enjoy. We'll keep it moving here. Several more people would like to come up and share some words of congratulations. I'd like to introduce now to you Clarkston Mayor Stephen Percival. Oh.
I didn't prepare any words. We did prepare a proclamation, and I'm not going to read all of the whereases and what fors and how to's, but I will get down to be it finally resolved that the City of the Village of Clarkston City Council hereby declares Wednesday, March 29th, 2017 as Clarkston Wolves Day in the City of the Village of Clarkston. So I'll present this to Coach Fife. And I'll turn the mic over to more eloquent people to speak.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you very much. Congratulations, guys. At this time, I'd like to welcome to the podium Independence Township Supervisor Pat Kittle.
Thank you, sir. Brooks, I feel for you. Yeah. Hey, thanks, Mickey. On behalf of Independence Township, I want to thank everybody for coming today. The township has for many years enjoyed the great athletic programs from Clarkston Community Schools. But by defeating Grand Rapids Christian to win the 2017 Class A State Championship on March 25th, the Clarkston Wolves basketball team has taken the meaning of the best to a new level. Gentlemen, hats off to you guys. And while the basketball team is to be commended for a great season, none of this could be possible without a great coach, Mr. Dan Fife. A 20-year veteran as a Clarkston athletic director, a finalist for the 2017 National Coach of the Year Award, 35 years as head coach, 28 league championships, 9 district champions, 12 regional champions, 3 state semifinal appearances, and 678 career wins. And what a win that 678th win was. Sir, best to you. Along with Coach Fife, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the patient and skillful guidance of coaches Eric Chambers and Tim Wazilk. Under the supervision, the Clarkston Wolves basketball team has become a great source of pride within our community, as well as within Oakland County, and for that matter, the entire state of Michigan. To showcase the township appreciation for all your hard work and dedication to your team, your school, and to the community, on Tuesday, April 6th, like the village, the Township Board will formally declare today, March 29th, as Clarkston Wolves Day in recognition of you, the Clarkston Wolves basketball team, 2017 Class A state champions. In closing, we're fortunate to live in a great community like Independence, but there's nothing in a community without its people. And it's people like you here today, folks who are celebrating this tremendous accomplishment that make Independence so special. Let's give this 2017 Class A or State A champions a big round of applause.
Mr. Kittle, thank you very much. Well, we've talked a lot about community here today, and our next speaker is certainly a big part of that community. An educator here. These kids went through Sasserwell Middle School. They no doubt know him. He helped teach them, helped round them into the young men they are today, and he represents us now as our state representative. Please welcome Mr. Jim Tedder.
Well, first and foremost, what a great day it is to be a Clarkston Wolf. Absolutely. And I wanted to show my support for the team by sliding into my old varsity jacket, but let's suffice to say I've outgrown it a little bit. And while I've outgrown my varsity jacket, let me say 30 years later, my love and pride for this community, for our team behind me, and their accomplishments and all that Clarkston represents never grows old with me, and certainly why I came back home to raise a family of my own. And yeah, it's true. It was just a few years ago. I was, intervening in situations in the locker room and maybe a few food fights along the way, and amazing and impressed with the young men that you boys have grown into, you young men have developed into. And that being said, certainly many have remarked on Coach Fife's commitment to our community, to his team, and most importantly, his commitment to developing young men. And while being a coach of a Class A state champion is truly a capstone to a career, I would argue that it's being a builder of young men is the legacy that you will be remembered for most. And certainly, whether you played basketball, lacrosse, part of the robotics team, part of the marching band, everyone loves and respects Coach Fife for his commitment to our kids. And today is just, again, certainly a very welcome tribute to a man and a legacy for which we will never forget. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cheddar. Well, it's a big deal when we can get L. Brooks Patterson out to a function here today. So, and he gave me the death stare when I mentioned we were giving the car away to Dan. So I think that's probably L. Brooks' ride. So at this time, please welcome Oakland County Executive Director L. Brooks Patterson.
Thanks, Mac. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I think most of you know that I live about 3 blocks from here, so I'm a resident of this community, and as such, I'm very proud to be part of it. To have the team behind me, the Class A champs, and my grandson went to school here with you guys. He's DJ Rogers, and we had back-to-back football experience. But you guys have done something nobody else before you has done. You brought home the championship in the basketball, and that banner will be up there now for the first time. And you got to be extremely proud. I've known Dan Fife for years and years. I kept rooting for him every season, wanting him to accomplish his goal, of course. I've got a plaque here, and first of all, let me explain. I'm in a wheelchair, and your supervisor's on a cane. Politics is a contact sport. That's only 2 paragraphs I'll read. Whereas the Clarkston Wolves varsity basketball players showed heart, unstoppable effort, and good sportsmanship throughout the basketball season, culminating in its championship, and will go down in Clarkston High School history as one of the finest varsity teams ever assembled. And whereas the Clarkston varsity basketball team brings victory, honor to Oakland County, which, of course, where I'm from, and enhances the reputation of the Clarkston Community Schools. And whereas the Clarkston Wolves basketball coach, Dan Fife, has been an outstanding leader for 35 years, who is 4th in all-time basketball coaches in Michigan High School Athletic Association with 677 career victories. So we got a great coach behind me. Congratulations to him, and congratulations to you guys. And I'll give you this plaque. Glad to get rid of it. And if you read the last paragraph, Dan, it says that in my authority invested in me as the county exec, I declare a day off for the Clarkston schools next week. So just want you to know.
My kids thought it was a week.
Picked up a few votes right there. Here you go.
Wait, we parents want our kids going to school, and we don't have another day off. Folks, thank you very much. Can we get a round of applause for all of our dignitaries in attendance today who've been so gracious of their time to come out and help us celebrate? Thank you very much. Well, I know you know a lot of these guys on this team, but how about we introduce you to them right now? And to do that, of course, I'm going to hand the microphone over to Coach Fife.
I'll get where I can see. Hold that, John. Okay. We'll start with Stuart Newblatt. Raise your hand, Stewie. Tristan Meissen. Raise your hand, guys. Alex A.J. Ward. A.J. John Krinka, Max Anderson, Ray Pistonetti, Foster Lawyer, you guys figure out if you can spell this name, Cheyenne Gadamabadi, Tyler Houston, Josh Luther, Jake Jensen, Brock Henley, Desmond Mills Bradley, CJ Robinson, Dylan Alderson, Nick Wells, Damon Mills Bradley, Chase Silk, Matt Nicholson, Taylor Curry, and assistant coach Eric Chambers. I can't see. JV coach Justin Pintar, and assistant coach Tim Wasilk. Got everybody? Oh, and assistant coach, freshman coach Julius Porter. And freshman head coach Jack Cunningham. Excuse me. Sorry, Bert. That's it, I think. I didn't forget anybody, did I, guys?
Coach, thank you again. Before we send everybody on their way, please just be careful heading out of here. I know the parking lots are crowded. Again, we want to thank you for being a part of this celebration, for being a part of this community, and for coming out and cheering on the Wolves today. Before we go, how about one more time? We'll hear it for Coach Fife and your state champion Wolves. Yeah! Thank you, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening, everybody. Go Wolves! Oh, thanks, man.